Story Chat with John Fornoff, the art and passion of storytelling. Here's your host, Bryan Bullabush.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Story Chat. Welcome to our little corner of the internet where we talk about storytelling and hope to inspire and educate and encourage you guys in the art of storytelling. I'm here with my John friend Fornoff.
Thank you, friend Bryan.
Okay. Friend Bryan. Are we speaking alien today?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did the papal blessing? I felt like the Pope doing this. I don't know what I was doing there. So I don't know where that came from.
Get the salt.
I could do the Queen wave here. I don't know what that is.
Wave anyway. Back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one. Okay.
We've got some questions today. Today's
exciting
episode. We've got some feedback.
Yes. Oh, but I got this. What we're doing, Bryan and I, we just talk with each other and have fun once a week, right? But this is really about you, right?
Yeah.
So as you're a writer and you're struggling with something, whatever. Bryan and I were just talking about this earlier today. The number, if we could narrow it down to one thing we want to do for you, is encourage you. And so we kind of educate, show some points and that kind of stuff. But the big thing is to encourage you in whatever you're doing in your craft. And if you're already a professional writer, just encourage you to plus it. If you're a beginning writer, encourage you to take that first step. So it's what to encourage you. And so that's a joy for me to do. And Bryan, I just thank you. Thank you for the privilege of doing this. So as part of that, it's a partnership, you and us. Okay. So hit us with questions. We love questions. So ask us any questions you have. And it's free advice. So
we are here for you guys. And I can tell you from experience, I have searched for courses online that they're like hours in length. They're like full seminar level courses. You go in once a week. So we're not that, but I would say we're a valuable tool just to get around those speed bumps, get around the writer's block, the what am I going to do with my protagonist? Hopefully we just encourage you guys throughout this as we go. And that's, as John said, that's really the point, to encourage and educate. So
yeah. Okay.
Our first
Let's
question.
Jump in.
Our first ever question.
I love questions. We had another question first, but our first question for this one. Okay, there we go.
Well, our email is finally being used, and I want to say thank you to Nathaniel for our very first question. He writes, "Hi, Bryan and John.
Hey, Nathaniel.
Podcast. I just finished listening to the Writer's Block episode and wanted to pose a question to John. Sometimes authors talk about planning writing in terms of gardener versus architect. A gardener writer allows a story to evolve more freely, more organically, and sticks either to a very loose outline or no outline at all. While an architect writer tends to focus on getting a solid outline, detailed and usually complete for the story from start to finish, then writes the story according with little variation. Which kind of writer are you? Do you begin writing with a vague idea of where you want to go, or do you have things solidly planned ahead of time? Perhaps you can talk a bit about this process in a bit of detail. Thank you, Nathaniel."
Thank you, Nathaniel. Appreciate that. Great question. And whatever we tell you, by the way, it's not like this is the way you should always do it. It's just this is the way it works for me. See if it works for you. And feel free to challenge it. Try it on. If that doesn't work, try something else. So here's what I do. I do both. I'm an architect where I do the left brain stuff, which is I'm a right brain kind of guy, but I'm also a left brain kind of guy. And I lean more right, I guess, more of the right brain. But I love doing left brain stuff. And part of that is I do the architect. I map out my it's like laying down a train track. So I lay down the train track for my story. So that is, I lay down the beats. Like I think I've got 9 beats. It's not the normal kind of thing people do, but Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, lay out all the beats of the story. And this happens, then this happens, and this turns this way, and then you flip it that way, then you have your midpoint, and then you have your climax, and you have all that kind of stuff. So I put that all there in beats, just one sentence for each beat. So that's the left brain kind of stuff. And also, I tap into something, this is fun, of all the courses I've taken, all the books I've taken, seminars and all that, I took a course from a lady her name is called Bobette Buster. She has an unusual name, but she has an amazing course, and she taught me some amazing things. It's a course, she said, one of the things she said was this little thing, a little exercise, questions to ask your movie. So it's kind of questions to ask your story. And remember all those beats I laid out. That's kind of the left brain grunt kind of stuff. And then goes into deep text, subtext, like, okay, what does your hero want more than anything else? And then what do they need? That's a deeper question. What are the setups and payoffs? Why are you passionate about this story? That's a great question to ask. So if you're not passionate about a story, don't write it. Find your passion. Find your passion before you write. You don't want to write something, there's plenty of boring stuff out there, Write from your passion. Write what gets you going. Why are we talking about this story now in the context of the world? Why is this story needed today? These are great questions to ask. So I do all that left brain kind of work. And that's, again, laying down the train track. And I like to do that first because now I get to write, right? After I get done all this stuff done, now I get to ride the train. And I've already worked out the twists in the story where it goes up, goes down, that's the train track going around the bend, making a tunnel through this. So I'm thinking ahead, do that left brain stuff. And then I get to write freely. I don't have to worry about structure. And when I'm writing, I pretty much stick to the outline, but I'm also looking forward to those little twists and turns in the story.
Yeah,
I was
actually going to interject. He largely seems to be talking with the question about the outline, because he was talking about the gardener is more organic with sticks to either a very loose outline or no outline at all. So basically, what you're saying is, if I think I can sum it up, is you have a fairly rigid outline, but you're not afraid to change that rigid outline.
Exactly, as you go along. This is fun. This will happen as you're reading. If you come up with some great characters and you put them opposite each other. Let's say you've got a character that is ambitious. One of my favorite characters to play with, two character pair, is Dwayne and Jared in Adventures in Odyssey. You get this. They were so fun to work with.
I can see that.
Yeah. So you get these guys.
For the audience, if you haven't listened to Adventures in Odyssey, Dwayne is very reserved, kind of the conservative, stick by the rules, kind of type A kind of guy, where Jared is Han Solo.
Yes, and he's also in conspiracy theories. He's always but this big adventure, ambitious, and he's always like off the rails. And Dwayne's like, I don't know about that. So you put those guys in a room, and it's like you put those characters, and you just almost like it's taking dictation, like you're hearing voices, right? It's like, oh, what? And so they'll take you surprising places. Go with it, see where it goes. The story takes surprising places, but so in sum, you're right. So that's what I do. I like the strict outline, write it down, and then go ahead and write, and let it can bounce a little bit in that with that framework. Now, let's say you're a gardener writer. You're just like, I don't like structure. It's like somewhere you got to put the structure in there. But here's what you do: if you're a gardener writer, like you just like to, I just want to express myself. Cool. Get it on the page. Go for it. Just put it out there. Okay, get on the page. And then
now,
are
you talking dialogue and screen direction, or are you just talking outline? Okay,
whatever. If you're a gardener writer, it could be snatches of dialogue. It could be like my favorite scene. Whatever it is, get it on the page. Don't let that. If you're feel too constricted about outline, just write as much as you can. Get on the page. Now you're done. Now you can come back and get that outline going. You can kind of, okay, now I got to fit it. I'm going to make sure it fits, it's 3-act structure, all that kind of stuff. But if you're a gardener writer where you just like, I just want to write, go ahead and write. Get it on the page. Enjoy. Have fun. And then go ahead and structure it. I like to do it the opposite way, but do it however works for you.
Cool.
So I hope that answered your question, Matthew. I guess we'll have to find out.
I guess that's that. Yeah, that's it, it's not hard and fast. Do whatever works for you is, I think, the key here. I prefer to have a solid, rigid outline, and I can show that story. The outline helps me be a gardener because I look out into the garden that's completely barren and I structure, okay, I'm putting that there and I'm putting that there and I'm putting that there. And I can imagine in my head visually, sometimes I see the characters talking. Yeah. I see what the roots are coming up. I see the trees blossom. I'm an architect. I need that. And even though some people who might know me, well, hey, he's probably a gardener. I need that structure and I need to know my world hardcore before I get into it.
Yeah. And for me, it frees up my right brain. If I've already done all my homework, the grunt work, I dug my hole for my swimming pool, whatever. I've dug the hole. I mapped it out, figured the length of it, the breadth, what the dimensions are. I've done all the hard work, the grunt work. That's the digging of the story and getting into it. And sometimes it's hard work. It's grunt work. But when you're done, now you put in the lining and you put in the pool, and now you get to swim.
Mm-hmm.
So it's both. And sometimes it can be grueling. And sometimes it can be grueling. Sometimes I'll come to a question like the Bob that Buster questions I told you about, and I'll go like, I don't know. Like, what does the character really mean? I'm going like, I don't. So you know what? Here, I'll cheat. Okay. I mean, it's just between me and my paper, right? So if I can't think of something, I'll just put something down, just anything, just to move on to the next question. But my brain's thinking back to that one question I didn't answer.
It's still chewing on it.
It stimulates. Yeah. And it's wonderful what happens because set up some payoffs. Sometimes I don't know what a setup is and how it's going to pay off. I'll put something down, just something. And as I'm writing, all of a sudden my brain is working on the background, and it'll come up with that setup in the payoff.
Yeah, and you'll make that connection. Yes. Even though you really didn't mean it, your brain knew it, your subconscious knew it as it went along. And it's just it's weird, kind of on a sidetrack, but kind of not at the same time. It's weird how the human brain can make such good connections.
It's amazing. And it can be working even subconsciously while you're doing something else.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, set up some payoffs. Just if you not familiar with that, a setup is something that in your story it naturally flows in the story. It's a little detail that you might not notice, but later on it takes on significance. That little setup, it's significant later. A very quick one, movie Rocketeer. This guy chews gum. That's a setup. The payoff is the gum is used in the climax of the story where he uses his chewing gum to solve something major without spoiling the movie. Okay, so
that's fair.
Payoffs. There we go.
Question.
Yes, another question.
Well, no. It's just yes. Question another from me. I hope you're not tired. Tired of that.
No. Go ahead. Hit me.
I don't know which I am. Okay. Gardener or architect. How do I find out? It's
not important. You know what? Well, maybe it is important. So I'll take that back. Can I rewind? Okay. It's. Maybe it would be good to know that what you are, but wherever it is, if you might be a combination of both. You might be the architect who does the gardening, or you might be a gardener who does the architect. Truthfully, you need both. You got to do both somewhere along the line. So what's your natural tendency?
How do I figure that out?
So what you can do is as you're writing, you'll find out. As you start to write, you're going to find out. And you kind of hinted at it already, is you found out that I really like to have that rigid outline. I like to have that outline. So I have it done, ready to go, and I'm ready to write. So you're probably more an architect to start off with, okay? And then you go over to the gardener or something.
Well, I was just talking, I know what I am. I was just talking hypothetically for somebody else.
We're talking if you were a hypothetical person. Which I would never accuse you of being that.
What would I do if I were accused of you are a hypothetical person? You shouldn't be here.
We're gonna talk about villains later, right?
Yes. Yeah. That. Hey. Spoilers for next week.
Oh, that's right. Spoiler for next week. So yeah, bottom line is if you find that you like to just write freely without any constriction, whatever, you're probably more of a gardener. And just start there. Just start where you are, and then you got to flip to the other side somewhere along the line.
Yeah, and you need a little bit of both, and you'll get to that point to where you can't continue until you have a little bit of gardening done, or you can't continue until you need to actually structure what you have.
What I love about it is, for me, with outline done, it really is freeing to me because I don't have to worry about, there's that problem. I can't, I've already solved it in my mind. At least I've got a good go with it. Right. And it's so freeing when the outline's done. It's like, now I can just write and have fun and enjoy it.
Is there now I don't know how this works in a professional scene, but is there like a writing exercise that can help you stimulate both sides, the gardener and the architect, other than just go out and write? Or is it just go out and write?
I would say any kind of courses you take, like seminars like the Bob That Buster course, Robert McKee, he has a lot of expletives, just to let you know.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, when I remember when I was talking about those hour-long, that it was Robert McKee.
He's brilliant. Absolutely. He's this lovable curmudgeon, like
absolutely.
And he just like beep, 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 kind of thing. But his stuff is brilliant. All right. Yes. So take courses, read books and something like that, and that'll help you with the structure part of things. As far as the gardening part of things, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain is a classic book that I need to read. True confession. Okay,
John, you're recommending a book you haven't read?
I know.
How does that work?
I read part of it. Okay, I just like to be honest. Sorry, guys.
No,
So,
sorry.
but anyway, that's
better than being dishonest. So,
but we talked about in a prior podcast. The proper care and feeding of your brain, the proper care and feeding of your creativity, that will inspire you. That will inspire that gardening side of you.
Cool.
So,
next question.
Yes.
We have two today.
Awesome. Now, I want to tell you, okay, we got to tell you guys, as you're listening, you're part of this show here, is we have not rehearsed this at all. I don't know what question you're going to ask. So this would be like really exciting. So
I also want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsor, us.
What?
No, we don't have a sponsor, not yet. We're gunning for it, but I do actually want to take this opportunity we do have a YouTube channel, which all of the podcasts go up. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, and Google podcasts, which the majority of you guys are. But if you could go to those other platforms as well and like and subscribe specifically to the YouTube, that'd be great. For those of you listening on the podcast side on iTunes, Google, Spotify, etc., you actually get to see us in the YouTube version. We have our webcams going. We're interacting back and forth, and John's got a wicked smile. His laughter is very contagious, as you probably can hear through the podcast. So just want to encourage you guys, if we're helping you out, subscribe, a like would go a long way. So appreciate you guys.
Oh, that's great. Oh, by the way, I want to thank JD also, JD Sutter, who is with Audio Theater Central. He has given us some good pointers on improving our podcast and just taking it to another level. So just want to do a shout out to JD. Thank you, JD.
Good old JD.
Oh, Audio Theater Central. It's an amazing podcast about family-friendly audio drama.
We're going to try to get JD on here one of these.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
His experience on it.
Yeah.
So our next question comes from Dominic.
Okay,
I'm Dominic.
Ready to go. Here we go.
I hope I'm saying that correct. Hi there. I am really enjoying your podcast. I think I must be that one listener you mentioned to in the recent episodes. I am thankful to report, Dominic, you are not the only listener, but we thank you for being there. I have learned at least one new thing each episode so far. Excellent. Good. I just listened to your How to Get Unstuck episode and had a quick question. Okay. My tendency with writing is to get hung up on little details. My thought process seems to go like this. But if I use this really cool plot idea, then how will I work out this little detail? Oh no, that caused a chain reaction and now I have 10 other problems, which add up to some pretty big problems. And then I get stuck. In your opinion, is this a lack of planning or an instance of over-planning on my part? What would you suggest getting around this particular case of writer's block? Wow, thanks, and God bless Dominic.
Dominic? Oh, God bless Dominic.
Yeah.
Oh, God bless, comma.
Yeah, okay. God bless. But, no, it's actually an exclamation point. But,
okay, God bless Dominic.
But
God bless Dominic for that story.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yes. All right. So the little details, they can, I hear you. So here's something I do is when we talk about the grunt work of writing is I like to work out all those little details in that left brain grunting exercise, kind of working through things. So you might be over planning, just putting that out there. You might be over planning a little bit too much, but as you're working through it, one thing I do is I do my story beats. Okay. And I work out the basic things there. I don't have to work out every single little detail, but the major details I work out there. All right. And it's interesting. If I work out the major details, when I get to write, the little details will take care of themselves as I go through. As I'm writing, because my brain is thinking ahead subconsciously. I've already worked it out on my outline. And so I'm kind of working through those. How am I going to get from this point to this point? I don't need to work. It depends on how you work. You can go ahead and do that and map it all out on your outline stage. You can do that. For me, I like to do more broad brushstrokes.
Tongue twister right there.
Yes, I can talk with mapping out my outline. So try it two ways, Dominic. Try working at, see what's going to work for you. Try working out all the little details in your outline. Okay. And then put it away. I mean, just kind of in your mind. Now you get to write. Okay. Try it that way. See if that works for you. Or you could try this. Don't do the little details. Just do the big details. All right. Now switch over to just writing and see how that flows for you. You're gonna find one method or another that's going to help you as you're working through those details. It's either you do it up front or you do it as you're writing. And I'd encourage you try that second way because your subconscious mind is working out those details.
Could this be an instance of what we were talking about earlier with the architect and the gardener, that he's reached a little too far in the architecture phase and isn't grooming things back and allowing himself to cut some stuff, to groom in that creative manner?
Yeah, here's how you know you're going too far or you're over planning. If you're getting to a point where you're going like that, okay, I'll allow a couple of as I'm writing. I'm sorry, that sounded awful. But it's like
well, that's your soul going. Yeah, I don't know what to do next.
Yeah, I do that. Here's a quick example. Bob Buster says, "Okay, what does your character want?" Okay, that's pretty easy. The character wants to win the girl. The character wants to be famous, whatever. What does the character need? Usually I will go, quote, unquote. All right, because I'm thinking, I'm grunting through there, trying to think, what do they need? So I'll work through that for a little bit. But if I get to a point where like, don't let, if the little details are causing you to get stuck, move on. It'll come to you. It'll come to you. So if you can tell you're over planning, if those little details are tripping you up.
Yeah,
give it a little time. Yeah, give it some time.
Massage it and just give it some. Just massage it, move on, and write the story. And we were talking the coincidences. Things seem to work out, and your brain works subconsciously on how that goes. I can't say this for certainty, but it should untangle in the end because you'll be either one to pick it out and you'll go, oh, that worked anyway because this, and this, or that's not really working, but here is a way it could work.
That's exactly right. And I know we're just about out of time, but I want to put this is the fun part. I love this when it happens. So let's say I've worked out I've done my outline. All right. And now I get to write. So I'm writing along, and all of a sudden, Dominic, I'll run to one of those little details. It's like I'll take a walk. Okay, when I'm writing, I'll just take a walk. I'll walk around the block. Remember talking about that? Literally, I'll walk around the block. And so when I'm walking on the block, or I'm doing something, I'm just taking a little break. When I'm taking a little break, I'm not even thinking about the story, or maybe I'm thinking in the back of my mind. Also, it's like, oh, what if? By the way, those are two great words there. What if? Question mark. What if? ... Question mark. What if this, then that's your brain has been working on that subconsciously all along. That's why I like to do that outline first, because because my brain's working on the connecting tissue between those lines, the connecting tissue in the skeleton of my outline. So as you're going along, subconsciously, it's like, wait a second. Oh, yes. Or you sleep on it. You wake up in the morning, it's like, oh, whoa, if I did this and this and this, write down. Like I'm in the shower. Another place that hits me is in the shower. As soon as I get out of the shower, I'm dripping wet. I'm writing it down.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Get your waterproof pen out.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope that helps you guys, Nathaniel and Dominic. And thank you for questions. We love questions. So I guess I get too excited about that. But anyway,
oh, no. Questions are definitely something to be excited for. But
yes.
We're almost out of time.
Yes.
Trying to come up with our how to get unstuck podcast seems to be very positive because the how to unstuck, people just have problems just getting the pen on the page. And
I wonder if I'm a writer whisperer or a writer therapist. I don't know, but I've dealt with the writer's block, the writer's stuck thing. So it's something that I want to help you get unstuck, because what we're about here is this is my closing. Ready, Bryan? Here's a big close.
Go for it.
Here's a big close. Okay. I want to tell great stories, and I want to help you tell great stories. And together, you and I can change the world. Let's do it.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Story Chat. If you want to hear more, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. If you have any questions for John or feedback on the show, please email us at storychatwithjohn@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.